right, so here we go. Here we go. The title of today's discussion is The Eternal Now, Creating Reality in the Only Moment That Exists. And it's going to stay in alignment with what we have been doing in the Discord, which is the Presence Challenge. Today is day 3 of the 7-day Presence Challenge, where the only goal of this is to be still and know. It's to come back to the present moment, to enjoy life from the present moment, to know that you are source in this present moment. That's it. Enjoy the present moment. Romanticize life. Romanticize the coffee in the morning. Romanticize the drive through the car wash. Romanticize cleaning the toilet. All right, let's get into this. The illusion of moving through time. We're gonna hit on a lot of different topics today from some different angles. The illusion of moving through time. Right? Most people live as if they're traveling through time. They believe they're moving from a past they cannot change toward a future they hope will improve. This is the human condition, is that we believe that this solid past, we've built all these moments, and there's been this continuity, this timeline that we've rode through, and it's got us to this present moment, and this present moment precedes everything that is coming next. So we have all these things to look forward to. Right? We see it as this timeline that just slides from left to right until we get to our destination. Right? But when we look at mysticism, there's always been a stranger truth that has been revealed, right? You're not moving through time necessarily. You're animating reality through awareness in this moment. What does that mean? It means that you've only ever really lived in this moment. The past exists only as a memory. When you think of the past right now, you're not actually living there. You're just pulling your interpretation of it and choosing to see life through that lens right now. The future exists only as imagination. You've never lived in the future, and you never will live in the future. No matter how far you run, you will always end up back in this moment. Both are appearing inside the field of awareness right now. So let's talk about the field of awareness. You just are awareness. And we got a beautiful diagram that's going to break down reality versus awareness, the quote unquote I am, versus identity versus the experienced reality. I think it's a real beautiful diagram. But let's talk about awareness. Right now, you can think of the truth of who you are as just pure awareness, right? Pure consciousness. So because you are pure awareness, think about where awareness stretches. Because if I ask you who you are, most of us are going to say what? They're going to say, well, I'm Alex. I'm this body. I'm whatever's went through, whatever's going on in my life. You're a mother, you're a daughter, you're a son, you're a father, you're a brother, whatever the case may be. But the truth is much larger than that. You are pure awareness. Okay? And because you are pure awareness, everything shows up within your field of awareness. You are just the field of awareness. So this marker that you're seeing is within your field of awareness. But to me, I'll put a label on it and I'll say, this marker is in my hand within my field of awareness. You will say, this marker is within Alex's hand on the other side of the screen within my awareness. But this marker is just as real to both of us. It exists in the same field of awareness for both of us. It is not separate from both of us. It's just the label that I put on it makes it quote unquote more real for me. But you are just pure awareness. The difference between that person that you're experiencing right now and the person that you want to experience in the future, there's no difference except for the label that you put on them. One of them you say is right here. The other one you say that's, that person hasn't shown up yet. Or I can't get that person, or that person's in the future or a future version of them. But think about what you're saying when you say that. What is a future version of someone? Another way for us to say it is, if I say a future version of them, I'm really saying they're not it right now. And why would I want to do that? So oftentimes, what you are is you're a label manager. In your life, you're a label manager. You're just pure awareness. Things are showing up. And then you're labeling them as possible, impossible, here, not here. I can get it, I can't get it. It's too difficult, it's easy, it's going to flow, it's not. That's what we're doing. So Who are you? It's not talking about this physical body. You're much more than that. You're aware of this physical body. And if you're aware of it, how can you be it? If you are aware of it, how could you be it? Let's go a little bit further. All right. So both of these things, the past, the future, are appearing inside the field of awareness right now. So when you realize this, what you're actually going to come to terms with is that your power was never in fixing yesterday. Your power was never in controlling tomorrow. Your power has always been in deciding who you are right now. And the moment that decision changes, the past reorganizes itself and the future rearranges itself around that identity. So first quote from Meister Eckhart. First quote from Meister Eckhart. This is a profound one. It says, time is what keeps the light from reaching us. Time is what keeps the light from reaching us. There is no greater obstacle to God than time. There is no greater obstacle to God than time. What is this really saying? Because we know there's no obstacles for God. We know that. But we also know that we meet God in the immediacy, in the beauty of right now. You've never experienced God anywhere else. But there's no greater obstacle to God than time. Us using time as an illusion of separation. So let's break this down. Time is the veil that the mind places over eternity. So right now, you just are in eternity. You just are in eternity. So it persuades us. What time does? Time. It persuades us that truth lives somewhere ahead of us. That God waits at the end of a long road of becoming, of achievement, of purification, yet the divine has never been hidden in the future. The divine has never been hidden in the future. The light of God is always shining in the immediacy of awareness itself right here in this divine moment. What time does is stretch the illusion of distance between you and what has always been present. That's all time does. It stretches the illusion of distance between you and you are just everything right now. And we're going to go into this. I got a beautiful diagram. We're going to talk about reality and all that shit, right? But what the illusion of time does, it just creates this illusion of distance between who you are and what you want, right? Y'all will start giving me baby ages. You say, it's been 21 months. It's been 21 months. Why hasn't it shown up? You start giving me baby ages, right? Because that's the identity that you're claiming right now. Life is always changing. Your cells in your body are changing right now. Seasons are changing right now. Weather is changing right now. Everything in reality is changing right now. Yet we say what? Nothing has changed. We stand firm in that identity. And if you're so powerful that right now you can stand in the identity that nothing has changed, when everything is constantly changing and you can animate that reality right here, then what's stopping you from animating the reality that everything has changed because I am changed, because I am different, because I have decided every moment life is getting better for me. As the seasons change, as the cells change, as my body changes, as life changes, as stars change, as the universe changes, my life continues to get better and better in every moment. You could take that approach, but instead we take the opposite approach. We say nothing has changed. So time it stretches this illusion of distance between who I am and who I desire to be. But there's only awareness, and everything exists within awareness, right here and right now. We're going to get a little bit deeper into that. All right. So what time does? Time tells you that you must arrive somewhere before you can know the light. When in reality, the light is the very awareness through which this moment is seen. When the spell of time evaporates, the distance between seeker and truth collapses. What once felt like a long spiritual journey becomes a recognition. I'm already that which I desire to be. I'm already that which I desire to be right now. In whatever I'm doing, lifting that weight, walking on that treadmill, eating that pasta, drinking that water, sitting in bed, whatever you're doing. When you realize that everything that you desire is in the immediacy of now. Beautiful, right? God was never waiting at the end of time. God was breathing through this moment all along. The light does not travel across years to reach you. The light does not travel across years to reach you. It appears the instant you stop looking for it in yesterday or tomorrow and allow your awareness to rest here. In that stillness, eternity opens because you open to this present moment and you realize the light was never far away. It was the very life looking through your eyes. So let me actually put this here. In that stillness, eternity opens. I'm going to highlight this. I want to copy this. I want to bring this up again. All right. When you allow your awareness to rest here, eternity opens. You can almost think of the past and the future like curtains. They're like curtains that are blinding you to the now. Right? This curtain is beautiful and it's draped with old memories and old identities. And this curtain is draped with what? It's woven with, things that you hope for. And the SP's text message. And all of these things are what? They're just hiding you from this moment. They're veiling this moment. But when you allow your awareness to rest here, eternity opens. It's like you just pull the veil apart and you sit in eternity right now. Beautiful. All right. So here's this diagram. Here is this diagram. Oops. Yeah, you're right. All right, so here's the first diagram we're going to talk about. So if you see here, you've got our avatar right here, and he's sitting in this present moment. You see this gold orb around him. That represents power in the present moment, right? Power in the present moment. Now to the left, you have the past. Here, the past is only a memory. It's only a memory. It feels solid. Whenever you visit the past, it feels solid. But where is the only place that you can quote unquote rewrite the past? Because a lot of you will ask, what about revision? Well, you can't travel to the past and change it. The past is only a memory. It's only a thought. It's only an interpretation. What happens is that right now you get to decide who you are and you relate to that past differently, which actually changes it. You have the future here. The future is just imagination. And if you want the diagram, it's on YouTube. The future is just imagination. You can't jump into the future and change it. What rearranges the next frame? Who you are right now. So the question that we're always asking within this field of awareness, which within this present moment of awareness, is who are you now? This is the question that we're always asking, is who are you now? This is your present moment of power, right? You ain't got to be meditating like him, but this is your present moment of power. Cool, so let's move forward. The moment that creates all moments. The moment that creates all moments, all right? Consider something. Consider this, consider this, consider this. You have never experienced the past. You've only experienced the memory of it in the present. You've never experienced the future. You've only imagined it in the present. Everything you've ever known has happened in the same place right here, right now. Okay? So even when we go back to scripture, right? Exodus 3:14, I am that I am, right? So Moses asked God for a name. Who shall I say sent me, right? And even that response, I am that I am, it's not a past tense response. It's not a future tense response. But why is it in current tense? Why is it in present tense? Because divine identity is always present tense. Divine identity is always present tense. Not future tense. You don't meet God there. God's not tucked away waiting for you in the future or tucked away waiting for you in the past. You only meet God in the immediacy of now. You are the expression of God in the immediacy of now. You are God. in the immediacy of now. All right? So, quote from Rumi: past and future veil God from our sight. Burn up both of them with fire. I feel you, Rumi. I feel you, my brother. Past and future veil God from our sight. Burn up both of them with fire. The past and the future are like silken curtains draped across the face of eternity. One is woven from memories, right? The past curtain. So you got these two curtains, like I was saying earlier. You've got one that is woven from memories, from stories, from identities that you've rehearsed so many times they feel permanent. The other, the veil or the drape of the future, is embroidered with hopes, with fears, with imagined tomorrows that promise fulfillment just a little further down the road. Yet, while the heart chases yesterday or tomorrow, the beloved, everything that you desire to be, the beloved waits patiently in the only place love has ever lived, the living pulse of this moment. God is not hiding from you. How can God hide from what God is? How can God hide from what God is? You're simply gazing through the fog of time instead of into the burning center of now. Beautiful. To burn the past and the future is an act of devotion to God right now. To return to the present moment is an act of devotion to God right now. It is the lover, right? You see this in the movie. It is the lover just sweeping the table clean, sweeping away the past, sweeping away the future, sweeping the table clean so nothing stands between themselves and the presence of the beloved. Beautiful. Nothing stands. Nothing stands between you and the beloved. When memory loosens its grip, when imagination releases its false promises, something rises in the soul. The air becomes thick with the perfume of eternity. Suddenly, right? Suddenly, the moment itself becomes a doorway, and through it pours a love so immediate, so alive, that you realize the divine was never waiting for you somewhere else. The divine was waiting for you to arrive here. Beautiful. Beautiful. The divine has been waiting for you to arrive here. But so many times we think that, God is in the past when we fix a past situation, or in the future when we get there. But all that's doing, the lingering on the past, the lingering on the future, is just veiling us from the God that is actually present and here right now. The past and future are distractions from the only creative moment that exists. The only moment that exists. Get present. Get present. Get present. All right. So section 3. All right. And this is what we're going to talk about, the question from the Discord today. All right. Creation is finished. Awareness animates it. One of the most mysterious teachings found in both mysticism and scripture is the idea that creation is already complete, right? We see that throughout spirituality. We see that in scripture. So let's reference Genesis 2:1. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished." Thus the heavens and earth were finished, and all the host of them. Finished. Right? Not the heavens and the earth are becoming or changing or slowly forming or evolving, but finished. So let's go a little bit further. Right? If you are a Neville Goddard fan, right, one of the things he often speaks of is, you'll say that reality exists in infinite states that are already finished. Infinite states that are already finished. Now let's talk about states. Okay, remember, your awareness doesn't create the state. So we matter of fact, I'm going to get to the diagram. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of it, then we'll get to it. So we have these 4 segments. We've got this infinite field of reality where all possible states exist. All realities exist. Okay, so when we say creation is finished, what talking about is all the states, all reality, everything exists. Now, here you are. Here you are right here. You are the I am. You are awareness. Just standing beautifully right here. And now you have the brain. Okay? And from that, the brain is the receiver and the filter. So from that, you have identity. The brain now focuses, right? Now you have experiences that are animated based on that brain or receiver. And that's what we call our experienced reality. All right? That's what we call the experienced reality. So it's not that your awareness creates the state. Your awareness selects and animates them because all states, all realities exist. Let's go into it. Okay. So one of the bigger confusions in conversations about consciousness is the assumption that awareness must be produced somewhere. Where is awareness produced? Right? Because people will ask, well, okay, well, is it the brain? Is awareness actually processed there? Is awareness actually processed in the brain? Perhaps, perhaps not, right? This question, what does it do? It begins with an assumption that may not actually be true. So let's read this a little bit. When scientists look into the brain, what they observe are electrical patterns, right? They'll see networks firing, chemicals, right? Neurons. You see just a bunch of things happening. What they don't find is the actual experience itself. So we can measure brain activity. We can measure the brain activity correlated with seeing a certain color. We know that, oh, this means you're seeing the color red. When you see the color red, this happens. But nowhere in the tissue is the actual redness itself. Nowhere is the feeling of love in the brain. Nowhere is the sense of I am. The brain shows us the mechanics of the instrument, but not the musician playing it. So the brain shows us shit that's happening, but there's something else. There's something else playing that instrument. We can measure things, but we can't actually see what's actually playing the instrument. Let's go a little bit further, right? So this is why even in philosophy, there's something called the hard problem. The hard problem is referring to consciousness, right? It's just something that's difficult to solve. We can map every neural pathway involved in perception, but we still cannot explain how electrical signals become the vivid inner world of experience. This is where the mystical traditions offer a different starting point. Instead of saying that awareness is produced by the brain, they say awareness is primary. It's not produced by the brain, it's primary. The brain is not the creator of consciousness. The brain is the interface through which consciousness experiences a particular perspective of reality. So in this sense, the brain is much closer to a receiver or translator or instrument than it is to an actual generator. There is something else generating the brain activity. There's something else generating the brain activity. So imagine reality as an infinite field of possible experiences. So you right now, just imagine reality, creation is done. Let's go back to Genesis. Creation is done. So reality is everything. The version of you that's rich, the version of you that's poor, the version of you that is happy, that is wealthy, that is loved, that is unloved. All these versions exist. Everything exists. All right? So awareness is the light that is moving through that field. So you have this awareness and you're moving through this infinite field. Awareness just selects the state. The state is love, right? You have a I am loved state because all states exist. And so your awareness moves to I am loved. Now what happens? The brain, the senses, and the nervous system act like a filter that allows a very small slice of that infinite field to appear in what you call your life. So you've already got three things going on. We've got what? We've got the infinite field of states. And you say, I am loved. Your awareness is on I am loved. And now your brain, it filters through all of that and it creates an experience in your life. Wonderful. Wonderful. So this is why what? This is why food changes your perception. Right? We already know. If you take a psychedelic, your perspective, your perception is going to change. If you drink liquor, your perception changes. If you eat certain processed foods, if you fast, your perception changes. If you meditate, your perception changes. Food changes your perception. Alcohol changes your perception. Trauma changes your perception. Why? Because it messes with the instrument that is filtering. Beautiful, right? Trauma changes perception. Meditation changes perception. All of these things are not actually creating awareness, though. They're not creating awareness. They're altering the instrument through which awareness is filtered and expressed. So anything that alters the instrument through which the awareness, which is beyond the brain, the awareness, the I am, is beyond the brain. But the brain is the instrument that awareness plays. And when you alter the instrument, of course, you're going to alter what? Your perception, your what you perceive reality to be. So when you change the instrument, change the instrument and the music sounds different, even though the underlying signal was always present. So reality is unchanging. All those states exist. And now you're aware of being something. Your brain now does what? It filters through things so you can show up in a reality that you perceive. We simply change the awareness. So when we say change your state, change your identity, we're going back to that truth. Okay, I am already everything I desire to be. All realities exist within me. And now I'm choosing the identity. I am aware that this is who I am. And now all of a sudden my brain begins to what? Filter everything downstream. Wonderful. So when we say awareness selects and animates states, what we mean is this. Reality contains countless possible configurations of experience. The moment awareness identifies as a certain version of itself, I am love, I am peace, I am prosperity. The moment awareness identifies as a certain version of itself, that identification becomes the lens through which reality is perceived and organized. The brain helps render that experience into what? Thoughts, memories, emotions, senses. But see how all those things are downstream. All those things can change based on your identity. But, right? Damn, where was I? Okay. But the animating force behind it is actually awareness itself. Okay. So in that sense, your life is not something that awareness is manufacturing piece by piece. It is something awareness is what? Illuminating. It's just continuously illuminating moment by moment through the identity it assumes right now. And this changes reality. So I know we kind of went a little bit practical into more kind of the sciencey side. But this is all mystical as well, because the moment that you change your identity, guess what? Your entire reality changes as well. Your entire reality changes. So here's a diagram to help. So we have this infinite field of reality where all possible states exist. Wealth, love, fear, fulfillment, struggle, joy. Okay? All states exist. Now you have your awareness. Who am I? I am. You have the I am. You're sitting in the center of reality, right? So all of this, I should have put this guy in the center. So you're sitting in the center of all of this. And you're saying, I am feared. I am love, or I am fear. I'm scared. I am love. And now all of a sudden your awareness illuminates this point. And the brain acts like the receiver and filter, so it begins to filter things through the awareness of I am love. So you begin to think loving thoughts. You begin to have loving experiences. You begin to feel loving emotions. But also what is actually happening? It's now your experience reality is also changing, because this I am love, it directly is your experience reality. It directly is your experience reality. Beautiful. So awareness is the light and the brain is the actual, just the lens. So it doesn't really make sense to start trying to change things at the receiver. You change things with your awareness of being. At every moment, who am I? Well, I am all that there is. I am the infinite field of reality. This exists within you. I'm the infinite field of reality, and I decide that I am love. And so now the brain begins to filter based on that identity. You begin to focus on I am love. You begin to see things differently. And of course, your reality changes as well. Immediately. Immediately. Okay? So imagine reality like an infinite film reel. Every possible version of your life already exists as frames. One where you're wealthy, one where you're struggling, one where you're loved deeply, one where you feel alone. All of them exist within individual frames within you. There's infinite frames, right? So think of all of these possible states are just frames. They're individual frames within you. And when you decide I am loved, I am this, I am that, all of a sudden, awareness moves through them, right? So awareness moves to, okay, this is who I'm aware of. And now all of a sudden, the moment you identify as a version of yourself, awareness lights up the frames that correspond with that identity. And those frames appear to become your life. So the moment that you change, the moment that you become aware of who you are, or aware of your state, or aware of whatever the case may be, right? This changes everything. Reality is immediately reorganized. It might look the same, but it's not. And then eventually, that identity trickles down into the brain. So the brain begins to filter your thoughts and your emotions and everything based on that identity. So it's always this state first. State, identity, whatever you want to call it. God, I hate getting into the semantics about it. I feel like the more that we keep going down this path, it's like the semantics always show up. And I'm like, fuck, should I say state? Should I say identity? Should I say I am? Yeah, fuck it. We're going to say whatever, all right? Maybe I should make like a reference diagram of words: state, identity, I am, consciousness, awareness, reality, field, feelings, thoughts. We probably should do that. That's actually a great idea. Right? So here's a quote from Marcus Aurelius. It says, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." Our life is what our thoughts make it. But even deeper than thoughts is identity, is state. I use state and identity extremely interchangeable. I am love, a state, an identity, from the knowing that I am everything. And now everything is downstream from that state or identity. And then immediately reality becomes what you know yourself to be. The eye with which I see God for everything is the same eye with which God sees. So it's a full circle moment. The way that I see myself is the way that God sees me. Oh, I love that. How much peace is in that? The way that I see myself is the way that God sees me. I choose to see myself as loved. I choose to see myself as loved. All right? So number 4, the lie of the long story, the lie of the long story. People often say things like, this situation has been the same for 5 years. I think somebody in the chat earlier put 21 months. But look carefully. The only place that story exists is in the present moment. What they're really saying is, for 5 years, I've continued identifying as the same person. So reality keeps reflecting the same identity. The mind loves continuity. It loves the comfort of familiar stories, but awareness is not bound to the past. The amount of time that you've been in a situation does not make it more or less true. It's just a memory. There's only right now. Who are you? Who do you say you are right now? You can break free of all of those loops right now. Right now. Right? Awareness is not bound to the past. It is constantly renewing itself. Okay. This is a fucking gem right here. All right? Awareness is not bound to the past. It is constantly renewing itself. Where is awareness renewing itself? I'll give you one guess. Where is awareness renewing itself? Constantly. In the present moment. Every time you come back to the present moment, you're hitting the refresh button. Refresh, refresh, refresh. And then the next frame is based on who you are right now. So Buddha described this as moment to moment rebirth. If you study Buddhism, they talk about moment to moment rebirth. Every moment is a new arising. Every moment is a new opportunity to assume a different identity or string together an identity that you like. So Romans 12:2, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's pointing back to the same thing. That your awareness is not bound to the past. It's not bound to the story. It's not bound to the 5 months or 6 months or 21 months or 2 years or 5 years. It's not bound to any of that. It is new and refreshed in every moment. We must die to ourselves daily. I die daily. Not just once, daily. In every moment. So the renewal here, when we talk about be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that statement, renewing. And then when we say awareness is constantly renewing itself. And then when the Buddha says this is a moment to moment rebirth, we're not talking about a gradual process. We're not talking about a gradual process of rewiring or reprogramming or reworking. It happens instantly. It's a recognition. Because why? Your identity is always chosen where? Now. Even if you think that you're working towards an identity, there comes a moment where you make the choice and say, oh, I guess I am it now. I've been putting in enough work. No. You just decided right now. You just decided right now. Beautiful. So number 5, the spiritual reset button. The spiritual reset button. This is one of the most freeing truths. Right here is one of the most freeing truths. You are not the person you were 1 moment ago. You're not that person anymore. Awareness is constantly renewing itself. The person you were yesterday only exists as memory in this moment. The person you fear becoming only exists as imagination in this moment. But the being that is aware right now is brand new and divine, the most divine of asses. They are unwritten, they are fresh, they are whole, they are complete, they are renewed, they are restored. Okay, so Revelation 21:5, it says, behold, I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. All things. So this declaration, okay, is about the nature of existence itself. Creation is not a static event buried in the past. Creation is not a static event buried in the past. It is a living act. Did you catch that? What is creation? Creation is a living act. Creation happens when you are living. And where do you live? In the present moment. Creation. Did y'all catch this? Come on, y'all. Wake up. I know it's early. All right. Creation is a living act that unfolds in every breath of awareness. This is creation. Creation is life. Living life is creation. Where else do you have to be other than right here and right now? Where are you going? Where are you going? Creation is not a static event buried in the past. Meaning, just because that happened, you drop that story of shit just don't work out. All these women are like this. Men these days. Who gonna be the men? Right? That's what y'all's favorite saying. Who gonna be the men? Or something like that. Right? You can let go of those stories. Who are you right now? Creation is a living act that unfolds in every breath of awareness. Each moment, arrives untouched by what came before it, carrying within it the power of renewal. Every moment carries with it, the power of renewal. The mind may carry stories of yesterday, but the life that animates you now is always fresh, always unburdened, always capable of expressing something entirely new. This is powerful. This is divine. Ooh wee. Ooh wee, ooh wee. This shit makes me want to jump out my chair and do a fucking backflip. But, I know my limits. I know my limits, all right? The divine voice saying, I make all things new, is the whisper of reality reminding you that existence itself is constantly beginning again. If I do a backflip, we're going to have to end the stream. You're going to have to end the stream because the ambulance going to be on the way. Your boy going to be in this bitch. I shouldn't have done it. I don't know why I let the chat pump me up like that. All right? To awaken to this truth is to realize that you are never trapped inside the story of who you used to be. You are never trapped inside the story of who you used to be. The past can only live through memory, and memory can only appear in the present moment. The past can only live through memory, and memory can only appear in the present moment. Yet, the awareness witnessing this moment is not old, it's not tired, and it for damn sure is not worn out by time. It is endlessly alive, endlessly creative, endlessly capable of choosing again. Renewal is the very rhythm of life moving through you right now. So you just living life, being in this moment is renewal. At every moment, renewal, renewal, renewal. Choose, choose, choose. Beautiful. Every second is an open doorway through which the divine says once more, behold, behold. Every moment, the divine says, behold, I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. Do you understand the gravity of that statement? Do you understand the gravity of that statement? Behold, I make all things new in every moment. There is no past to fix. There is no loop to figure out how to get out of. You're free right now. You are renewed. Right now, right now, right now, right now. Where else should you be living outside of this present moment where your creative power is? Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Renewal is not after years of effort. It is now. It's not after you balance your chakras. It's not after you raise your vibration. It's not after you switch up your frequency or reprogram the mind or fix the subconscious or do the spell. It's not after the full moon, the blood moon, the red moon, the lion moon, the black moon, the green moon. It ain't none of them. It's you right now deciding who you are. You don't even got to clean your crystals. You don't even got to clean your crystals tonight. You already are renewed. I know. Creation is constantly renewing itself through awareness, which means the past has no real authority over you unless you continue to identify with it. But you don't live there anymore. I don't live there anymore. I'm here. I don't live in the past anymore. I live here. And I am everything I desire to be right here. The spiritual reset button is always available. The reset button is always available. Press it. Come back to the present moment and hit that reset button. No, I'm everything I desire to be right now. Boom, reset. You are. That simple. The spiritual reset button is always available. It is called the present moment. Okay. Now, number 6, the decision that collapses time. If the past is memory and the future is imagination, then your life is not ultimately determined by time. It is determined by identity. Most people assume their future will be shaped by what has already happened to them. They look at the past as evidence, as proof of what is possible, and then project that evidence forward, right? We're going, no, Alex, you don't understand. You don't understand, my brother. This has happened to me. She did that. He did that. They said this. The money looked like this. The bill said this. But what you're actually doing is you're taking your interpretation of that past moment, you're dragging it into the present, and you're choosing to allow it to be your binoculars. Them ugly ass binoculars. Binoculars falling apart. You don't want to let go of them, though. You can get some new binoculars. You can get some nice glasses, some new ones, some new frames. But you still want to look through them booty ass glasses of the past. Put that shit down. They don't even smell good. Put them booty butt glasses down. Come back to the present moment and decide who you are right now. I know somebody just scrolling by is like, what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? All right, so here we go. Awareness does not operate like a historian, carefully preserving records. Awareness operates like a projector in a theater. It illuminates the frames that match the identity currently being assumed. So if awareness operates like a projector, okay? It operates like a projector, and it illuminates the frames that match the identity currently being assumed. That means what? That the change to reality is instant. It may look the same, but it ain't. Everything is different because you're different right now. This is the thing that I really want you to get. This is it. This is the part that I really want you to understand, right? Is that there is no quote unquote time. Everything changes instantly because you are it, because you're reality. So you say, I am love. So of course they love me. It's instant. You're instantly in that reality. That frame, that film roll is unfolding from within you. It may look the same. That person might still respond the same, but you are in a completely different reality right now. Things out there are just rearranging to show you that, to reveal that to you. But you're in that reality right now because you are reality. Can you recognize that? Or are you going to continue to highlight the film roll that says nothing's changed? Everything has changed because you've changed. Even you saying nothing has changed, it's just you taking a new identity in this moment and animating a new film strip that just looks like nothing has changed. It's still a change though. I've kind of been wanting to say that, but I have just kind of been tiptoeing around that one for a little bit. But even you saying nothing has changed is you sitting in the present moment and changing everything by saying nothing has changed. And now you're pulling in a reality that what? That looks like nothing has changed, but it's still a brand new reality. It's always new. Damn, my stomach. Feed us. Fuck the fast. Feed us. Damn. Chill out. Chill out. We good. Chill out. Right? So the moment you decide who you are right now, the story reorganizes itself around that decision. What appears to be time, quote unquote, passing is often nothing more than the mind adjusting to a new identity. Reality begins aligning with the state being animated, and the sequence of events rearranges itself to make that identity appear natural. Natural. All right. So here's a quote from William Blake, the mystic. It says, what is now proved was once only imagined. Some of y'all are like, duh, Alex. No, but do you really understand that? What is now proved was once only imagined. Every reality you see around you was first an identity someone dared to occupy before the evidence appeared. Everything. Everything. When you understand this, you stop trying to manipulate the future. I'm finna block you if you talk about the YouTube chat again. All right? If y'all talk about the YouTube chat, I'm blocking you. YouTube chat. These are classy people over here. These are classy, divine, upstanding citizens. You little ratchet TikTokers, be careful. Don't talk about my people like that. All right. Thank you. Just a public service announcement. All right. So when you understand this, you stop trying to manipulate the future. You stop negotiating with time. Instead, you step into the only place where change has ever occurred right now. When you decide who you are in this present awareness, the past begins to loosen its authority and the future begins quietly reorganizing itself because awareness chose a different story to illuminate. Don't try to backtrack your comment now. You don't moonwalk on that comment now, okay? Don't moonwalk back on that comment with them ugly ass feet. I'm just playing with you. Or am I? Or am I? Or am I playing? Seven. Number 7. You are the author of the present. You are the author of the present. So the real question becomes a simple question. This is a real question, right? And you already know what the question is. What is the question to constantly ask yourself? What is the question? It is, who are you choosing to be in this moment? The only question that matters. I am. I just am. Right? Not who you were yesterday. Not who you hope to become someday. Hopefully, these last 2 or 3 discussions have really kind of, like, when I'm asking y'all, like, okay, but who are you? Like, well, but they did this, they did that. But it looks like this, but it looks like that. I'm like, no, who are you? Hopefully, this is making it more clear why that is always the question. It's never about them. It's never about them. It's always about you. It's always about who you decided to be right now. Okay? So this moment is the brush. This moment right here is the paintbrush, and awareness is the hand holding it. This is why the mystic Kabir, he has that beautiful quote that says, wherever you are is the entry point. The entry point to what? The life that you desire, the life of your dreams, everything that you desire. Right now is the actual entry point to it. This is where life is written. This is where identity is assumed. This is where reality is animated. This is where your dreams are, your hopes are, your love is, your prosperity is. It's all right here, right now. But can you recognize it? Can you recognize that all realities, all states exist within me? And I just am that I am. I am whatever I decide to be right now because that is the truth. I choose that state/identity. And now I am in that reality, and everything, it might look the same, but everything has changed because I have changed. Okay? The moment you decide who you are now, the story rewrites itself, because the only moment that has ever existed is the one you are animating right now. Okay, so we got 12 minutes. I've got 4 reflection questions, and I've got a love letter for you. The first reflection question, I'm going to post these in the Discord a little bit later, but the first reflection question: if the past only exists as memory in this moment, what story are you choosing to keep animating? If the past is only a memory in this moment, what story are you choosing to keep animating? Is there something from your past that you keep identifying with? That you're bringing it into this present moment? You're like, oh, well, you know, that is how these men are. That is how money is. It is how the government is. It is how the market is. Speaking of the market, like this shit. But that shit look ugly as hell, like a big McDonald's sign when I open that shit up. It went up, down, up. Damn. All right. Is there something from the past that is that's pulling you, that you're pulling into the present moment and identifying as. Okay, number two. Who would you be right now if you stopped referencing your history? If you just could eliminate, if the past did not exist, which it doesn't, and you just had blinders on right now, no past, no future, who would you choose to be right now? And what's stopping you from doing that? Who would you choose to be right now? Everything that you desire to be. And everything is unfolding to show me that I am everything I desire to be. That is the only identity you really need right there. I am everything I desire to be. And every moment is showing me more and more. It's unfolding to prove that to me, to show me that, to bring me things that match that knowing. Yeah, I am everything I desire to be. And I have everything I desire to have. Put them blinders on. Put them hater blockers on. Stop letting the past hate on you. Leave the past in the past. Don't let the past hate on you. You too divine for that. All right, number three. What identity would instantly change your future if you decided it was already true? Right? Same question in different ways. People couldn't handle you. Okay, Leslie. Okay, Leslie. All right, Leslie. I see you. I see you, girl. I see you. What identity would instantly change your future if you decided it was already true? These men can't handle your ass. You feel me? Brother, these women can't get enough of your ass. You feel me? Uh-huh. Right? And then number four, what version, I love this one, what version of your life, is waiting for you to claim it in the present moment? What version of your life is waiting for you to claim it right here, right now? Waiting for you to claim it right here, right now. Right? If you want them swinging on you like Tarzan, you feel me? They swinging on the vine like Tarzan. You can have that. You can have that. Right? You can have that. What are you deciding that you are right now? And I'm pausing and going slow with these because I want to give you some time to actually reflect on these ones. Damn, can y'all hear that shit? All right, so all right now, y'all. All right. It was a yes or no question. It wasn't no need for wows and shit like that. All right. Shit. That's why I like YouTube. They just said yes. Fuck. All right. So here we go. Here's the letter to you. How much time we got? We got 7 minutes. Katie, sometimes when I read your comments, I'm like, Katie, Katie, a wild one. Katie, really a wild one. She's I am, and today I just know I'm loved, and I had my latte, and let me post my cup of coffee. But Katie really, never mind. All right, so here we go. My dear self, right? My dear self. Pause for a moment. Pause for a moment and feel the miracle of this breath. So this letter is going to bring us back to this present moment. All right? Pause for a moment and feel the miracle of this breath. Everything you've ever called your life has unfolded right here. In this living instant where awareness opens its eyes and the world appears. The past you sometimes carry like a heavy cloak is only a story passing through this moment. Yet the one who witnesses both, the silent I am at the center of your being, remains untouched and endlessly new. Remember this when the mind tries to convince you that you're bound to yesterday or waiting for tomorrow to rescue you. You're not the echo of what has been. You're the living author of what is now unfolding. Every moment you stand in awareness, you hold the brush that paints the next scene of your life. With a single shift in identity, the story bends, the horizon opens, and the world rearranges itself to meet the version of you that has awakened. So be kind with yourself. It's just you and your mind. Be kind with yourself. Let the old stories dissolve like mist under the morning sun. Choose the version of yourself that feels alive, that feels free, and deeply aligned with the knowing inside of your heart. Love that version fiercely. Let me say that one more time. Be kind with yourself. Let the old stories dissolve like mist under the morning sun. Choose the version of yourself that feels alive, free, and deeply aligned with the knowing inside of your heart. Love that version fiercely. Walk as that version now, because the universe is responding to who you dare to be in this very divine present moment. And if you ever forget, return here again to this breath, to the sacred simplicity of being right here and right now, with devotion, with absolute devotion to the truth of you, yourself. Right, I am that I am, no matter what. All right, y'all. That was it. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna do another one tonight, and then I might do something just in the Discord today. I might just do a conversation or a chat or like a ad hoc coaching session in the Discord today, maybe. But if not, either way, we'll talk again this evening. Right? Love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful day. And you are already everything you desire to be. Now, and like I've been saying, I need to start saying this at the beginning more. I'm going to. If you want to join the Discord, there's a free link in the bio. It's free for now. Who knows how long that'll last. And also, if you want any kind of coaching or help, there's another link. There's a Calendly link in the bio, in my link tree in the bio, that you can always book time and talk with me. Okay? Until next time, my guys and my goddesses, peace.